Hey guys, in today's video I'm doing a kind of like a review on the Juno and Co Microfiber Velvet Sponge. I'm really wanting to test this sponge out and I finally got it. They had like a point system on Pixi and I like redeemed my points to get this. So it finally came in and I really wanted to do a video on it and test it out and see how it goes because I use sponges for like my foundation, my concealer, and my powder. So I use my sponge for quite a bit on my face and my makeup. So I'm always looking for like a new good sponge to try out, and this one looks really good. It says it's like a microfiber sponge, so it's not like an actual spongy sponge like this. Like it's not like as hard as this, and like I don't know. And I personally love the Beauty Blender, and I think it's a great sponge. I prefer the Beauty Blender over the Real Techniques one. But my Beauty Blender is done. Like I've used it so many times that it's kind of like disgusting, so I threw it away. So I really did need like a new sponge to try out, and this one came up, and I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. So yes, I'm gonna be testing this out today in like a bunch of different ways and see how it goes and see if it's good or not. Because this sponge is also like really affordable too. I believe it's like $6. So that's really good. Let's just go. So I just dampened it and I think it did grow a little bit in size. Like it doesn't really fit in its little package home anymore. So that's good. There's a piece of paper in here. Didn't even know that. Oh, well, you can use it dry if you want, or you can use it wet. I did dampen it a little bit because I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really retain water that much. Like if I squeeze it, nothing comes out. So, I mean, it did squeeze pretty good, but it says make sure your sponge is dry. I don't want to use it dry, so I'm gonna use it wet, but I'm just gonna use mine slightly dampened, even though it says you can use it dry, which I might try out and tell you how it goes in the description box the next time that I use it and see how that is, because I do want to use it both ways to see, but I'm only gonna do it once in today's video. Wet. I personally like my sponges wet because it just feels a lot nicer on your under eye. It's very cooling. It's just a nicer experience, you know. For foundation today, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Coverage foundations in the shades Fair and the shade White. I'm just mixing them together to get my perfect shade. And I only ever use this foundation with a sponge because I found that with a brush it looks really bad. So I know how it looks with a sponge really well. So it'll be a little bit light, but and go in. I'm gonna use the bottom of it because I feel like I like that better. Oh my god. It definitely feels dry. Like it doesn't feel... Do you feel that? It's definitely really weird. I don't know. I'm so used to having like a wet sponge on my face, but this one is dry, but it still feels kind of nice. Like, it definitely doesn't feel wet. It feels dry, but it's still applying like my foundation really well. It's just like really weird. And by the way, I don't do reviews very often because I don't really ever test out anything new, but I'm sorry if I missed anything, like any information. I'm very sorry. I think I said everything I wanted to say, but I don't know. So far, I'm just did the bottom half of my face, but I think that it applied a little bit like more foundation to my face than a normal Beauty Blender would, because this foundation is kind of liquidy, so the Beauty Blender will suck it up because it's a sponge, and like it'll suck the foundation up if it's like a little bit too liquidy. My god. So I feel like this one doesn't suck up as much product. I feel like it's really fast too. Some sponges for me, like the Real Techniques one, takes forever to blend on my face. Like I don't know why that is, but I feel like this one's really quick and fast. And it blends in really nice. Like I don't have to go over anything too much, even though it is dry, it isn't like hard to blend in the foundation. It just sounds really loud. Another thing that I wanted to see with this sponge, because it is like a dry sponge, is, I mean it is dry, but is how it does with my dry skin, because I found that a Beauty Blender really does work with my dry skin because it's like wet and it kind of just feels really good in your face because it's like adding moisture kind of to your face. I don't know. if you use a beauty blender with your foundations, it typically will make your foundation look a little bit more dewy, kind of shear it out a little bit, so it looks really good with dry skin. So I was kind of, I don't know how this is going to do with my really dry skin when it gets into like the winter months, because my skin, like last week, it was kind of cold out, and my skin changed in like 2 seconds from being like normal to dry. So, you know, I'm just going to go back over and kind of build this up. Okay, so I might be like crazy, but I feel like this gives me more coverage than a beauty blender would. Like, definitely. This foundation is very full coverage, but I feel like I didn't use all my foundation, and this is like full coverage. My skin isn't doing too bad right now. Like, I don't have a lot of active breakouts for once in my life, but it's pretty good. I'm gonna use like the point to get to my nose. Like, yeah, I like it. I feel like my foundation doesn't look as like fresh and like wet because it is dry, but I like it. Oh, there's like a little section right here that says avoid using too much product the first time, which I think is true. Like, this is crazy. My face looks so good right now. It says fully wet your Juno sponge by running it under water to get any excess liquid to begin. Apply a dime size amount to the back of your hand and start the application. Gradually add more product and stipple to achieve the coverage you want. Be sure to dab and blend for the most flawless look. So it says you can wet it. So it says both. It says right here, fully wet your Juno sponge, and then over here it says use it wet or use it dry. So you can use it whatever way you want. I didn't see the back of it, I'm sorry. That's pretty cool. Even though it doesn't really stay wet for that long, I'm still gonna wet it because I like it. And also, it kind of didn't like soak up any of my product. Like, normally if I used a beauty blender, the whole bottom would be covered in like foundation, but this one has still some blue peeking through, so I like it. Okay, so for concealer, I'm just gonna use my Catrice liquid camouflage concealer. It's like my fave from the drugstore. It's super cheap and super good. I've heard a lot of people say this is like really strongly smelled, but I don't think it is. I think it smells good. I'm just gonna apply a little bit today, not too much. That took 2 seconds to blend. Oh my god, do you see how quickly that did it? Oh my god. Because since you are using less product, it takes so little time. Done. I'm going to apply a little bit more because I feel like I didn't apply enough. Like right here. I feel like it's so quick, like, dang. Okay, and then I'm going to, I'm going to apply a cream highlight. I'm going to use the Tarte Pro Glow liquid highlighter before I set my concealer down. I've actually been like really liking this. It's really intense and very pretty. Like, just gonna blend it in with the bottom. Actually, I'm gonna use the top. Okay, so the liquid part, the liquid highlighter is not really blending in. Maybe that's my fault, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so liquid highlighter was not really like blending into my skin. I don't really know why. Let me try it again. I'm gonna like re-dampen it a little bit with some spray. It's just my Mario Badescu spray. I'm gonna pick it up using the very point. Okay, so now that it looks better now. I don't really know what happened there, like, what the heck. I used like the butt at first and dipped it into the liquid highlight, but when I put it on my face, it wasn't blending out. But now that I used like the other side and like re-damped it a little bit, I think it worked better. It could be because it's like a really creamy thing and it didn't really mesh well with the dryness and like the wetness of the foundation. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna test this sponge out a little bit more and kind of give you my thoughts in a different video. So, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a cream contour. I'm gonna use the Benefit Hoola Cookie Contour Stick. I have not used this in forever, so I like to pick it up on my sponge first and then go in. I don't ever draw it on my face, like I'm too fair for that. It'll just look way too intense, so even though I wish I could draw it on my face, but I can't. I'll look like a muddy mess if I did that. Okay, so the cream bronzer applied really nicely as well. The sponge can do everything. Like, I'm gonna try it with every single product on my face today. Okay, so now I'm gonna use the sponge to set my under eye concealer, and I'm gonna use my RCMA No Color Powder today. Okay, that looks amazing. This is like the miracle sponge I've always been needed. Okay, so that set my under eyes beautifully. Like, and even though the sponge is dry, like you're doing like dry, it looks good. Like my under eyes look so seamless. Like they don't ever look like this. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my powder bronzer. I'm pretty sure you can do this, can't you? Use it to apply blush and highlighters. So it doesn't say to do bronzer, but I'm gonna try bronzer. So I'm gonna use my Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer in the shade Sweet Tea. And I'm gonna take this side right here, kind of like tap it off because it's got powder on it. And just dip it in and then go in. It's definitely there, like you can see it on my face. I'm gonna go to this side and get the excess off. I like this side, but I don't know if I like it too bronze. It's weird. I don't know. I like a brush better, I think. Yeah, I feel like it doesn't look that good on camera. Like in person, it doesn't really look that bad, but I feel like it looks a little bit muddy. I don't know. Let me use a brush instead and see how that goes. Yeah, much better. Yeah, I think I like it. I don't think I applied it bad. It also doesn't say that you should, so maybe that's a reason why they didn't put it on there, because maybe you shouldn't. I just feel like my face is so smooth and seamless. Now I'm going to apply some blush, and I'm going to use my Pixi by Petra blush in the shade Beach Rose. I've been using this so much lately. It's beautiful. I love it. The only thing is that it is really pigmented, so I don't want to like show up on my face like crazy pigmented. So like already you can tell it's on my sponge. Oh, now I'll go to this side and get the excess off. Yeah, I tapped a little too hard, I think. Even though I barely tapped, I tapped too hard. Just gonna blend this out. That looks so good. I feel like everything just looks so seamless today. Blush kind of looks a little bit harsh, but I've been really liking that look recently. I think it looks really pretty for fall. I don't know. It's like a nice deepness to your face. I really like it. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to apply some highlight, and I'm going to use my Anastasia Sugar Glow Kit, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here. The shade Gumdrop. I'm just going to... I powder my sponge. I'm actually going to go and re-dampen it because I am using it for so many steps that I have powder on my face now. So I'm going to re-dampen this really quickly, and I'll be back to apply my highlight. Okay, so I just re-dampened it, and I did get it like a lot cleaner, and I just used water, so that's cool. So now I'm going to apply my highlighter. I'm actually going to mix in a little bit of butterscotch too, because it's like the more pinky one, and I don't really want pink on my face today. I wanted more gold, so. Okay. I found that just tapping it kind of took a little bit longer to like build up on my face. So I found that like a swipe works really good and it gets it blinding fast. Alright, so it's pretty much the entire face done with the Juno and Co sponge. And I might actually show you like me cleaning it so you can see how well it cleans, because I mean, she's pretty dirty right now. And for me, I like my sponge to look clean because I just don't like my sponges look dirty. It's like just putting like a dirty sponge on my face, you know? So I am gonna clean this with you and okay, so I'm not going to finish up doing the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to close the video out here with just foundation and my base done. But overall, I really enjoyed this sponge. I think that it is amazing. Like, my skin looks really good right now. And I really like the way that it applied everything. It applied it really nicely, except for my bronzer. I really like the way it looked with bronzer. But I liked it with everything else. Like, this highlighter looks really good. And I was really shocked to see like how well it like applied. And I think my favorite thing about it is the color and the shape. The shape is really nice. I love the flat bottom. That's the number one thing that I like about sponges, is the butt. So yes, and I also like to have a point, so this one has everything that I like. But yes, I'm using this sponge a lot from now on, and I'll probably mention it in like a favorites video because I really like it. It's really good. So I'll tell you more about it then, to see how I like it completely dry without wetting it, and see like how like a difference is maybe. So yes, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to subscribe and like it before you leave. And if you want to see more videos from me, I upload Mondays and Fridays. So if you want to see those videos, then stay tuned. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. But yes, I know that I'm gonna be I need water. Cat.